So back in June of 1997, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Mary Smith wrote a column for the Chicago Tribune entitled "Advice, Like Youth, Probably Just Wasted on the Young." Now, you may not have read that column, but you probably have heard it, because a year later, Sydney's very own Baz Luhrmann read it over a backing track, and it became some kind of weird pop sensation that essentially is summarized as "wear sunscreen." Now, that is really important because there's basically no ozone layer here, and if you have Celtic skin like me, you will burn in 15 minutes, and malignant melanoma is a horrible way to die. But I didn't want to give you a list of weird reflective stuff to take home, like in my blog and my ebook. I wanted to give you something a bit more tangible. So I had a bit of a think. I left that song to one side, and I picked up another one, and this is what I want you to take away. Love, love, love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Pre-hospital care has taught me how important it is to love my work. I love being on our main base where there's lots of teams, there's always something going on, always someone to talk to. And I love being on our smaller regional bases where quite often the only people in the building are the pilot, the air crewman, the paramedic, and me. Many of us spend more waking hours at work than we do at home, so it's really important that work is somewhere that we love to be. And I do try to love my team as a part of that. And I feel like we're a family, and trying to take care of each other, as Liz said, is a really important facet. I love my work by trying to show love to my patients. And actually, that can be really hard, because it's tempting to just notice how stupid they are, particularly when anyone I've ever treated who's come off a motorbike just tells me they just want me to fix them so they can get back on a motorbike, see also horses and jet skis. But letting go of our inclination to be cynical about our patients is important, because it helps us to avoid bias, and it allows us to treat them with kindness. We are not usually who they want or expect to see on what's often the worst day of their lives. And love, as Deborah Anapol tells us, knows that the other is also oneself. The third way we can show love at work is by building a culture of excellence together through things like reflection and peer review and governance in our clinical practice and research and culture. That stuff really matters too. Because I don't think that we are particularly special. We are all just bags of bone and muscle and nerves and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. There's no one you can save that can't be saved. But if you go to work in love, that's when you can really make a difference to people. All you need is love, love. Having said we're not that special, it's really important that we also love ourselves. And that to me means wearing sunscreen or wearing thermals. It means being honest with myself and my team when I'm distracted, when I'm hungry, angry, late, or tired. And it also means trying to have a discipline of separation between my work life and my home life, and recognizing when I need to debrief with my team before I go home, so I'm not contaminating the person I am at home with a bad day at work. That really matters to me. It also means prioritizing sleep and exercise, increasingly difficult in this current condition. This is not Christmas cake, this is a apparently human child. And it also means facing my fears and owning up to them, and learning gradually that I'm stronger than I think. This is me after completing my second Hewitt of 2018. I did 2 last year. I didn't like either of them, but I did it. Love is all you need. It's not just about loving your work and loving yourself. It's also about loving your life. And that is something that pre-hospital care teaches us every single time we see a patient that we can't help, and we have to look into the eyes of their devastated relatives. That is not a comfortable place to be. But there's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. And I would challenge you in that situation to take a look around and realize how privileged we are to see this. Because people struggle to appreciate how fragile and how transient life is. And we get that lesson every single time we go to work. It teaches us that we need to give time to what really matters to us. And that's often the first thing we push away when life is crazy and busy and hectic. And that's exactly when we need it the most. We never know when the last time we're going to get to talk to somebody or do something is going to be. Now, I'm going to give the next couple of minutes to my colleagues because I asked them to reflect about this, and I asked them to answer these questions for me. What or who keeps you you? What or who do you love the most? What or who brings you joy? And while you engage with their responses, I want you to think, what are your answers? What's the glue that holds you together? What is it that grounds you after you've had a terrible day at work? If it's something you want to do or somewhere you want to go, when are you going to do that next? And if it's a person, when did you last tell them? And can you tell them today? Because we don't know when we might never get the chance to do that again. Is it working?
There's nothing you can do that can't be done. There's nothing you can sing that can't be sung. There's nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. There's nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. There's nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be the time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
It's easy. All you need is love. Love your work, love yourself, love your life. Love is all you need. But trust me on the sunscreen. Thank you. Thanks.
Nat,
Yes, Kat.
what would you say to those of us that feel a bit uncomfortable about talking about love in the context of our work?
I think that's quite common because people have this idea that love is a soft and fluffy thing. And I would challenge people who think that to maybe reflect a bit more. Lack of love kills people. Love changes people's lives. Love is not a soft thing. It is an incredibly difficult thing to do. It's a real challenge, and it's what holds us together as people. And I want us to really spend some time thinking about that towards the end of today.
I think that should close this talk. I don't think I should ask
awesome.
all the questions.
Fine with me. Thank you.